Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We are going to talk about XRP, and once again, this is the 1 hour chart. We're sitting here just below 61 cents, exactly where we were yesterday. You know, if you can make it through all the sideways action on XRP, you will make it to the finish line. I still am very optimistic. I think we're going to break $1 by the end of this month. U.S. Federal Reserve receives multiple recommendations of XRP for instant settlements in CBDC questionnaire. I believe they already know. Now, that questionnaire, I shared it with you a couple days ago in a video where people were calling the Fed clowns and saying it's time to end the Fed. But the Fed absolutely knows what Ripple and XRP is. I still think the Fed has been working with Ripple behind the scenes for years now, even during this SEC Ripple lawsuit. XRP case between Ripple and SEC could be settled today. You know, I didn't want to hype up November 30th at all because I didn't want to get your hopes up, only to be disappointed in the end. You know, whenever somebody calls out a day, nothing ever happens. You know when this case is finally going to settle? When we all least expect it. One day you're going to wake up, XRP is going to be skyrocketing. You're going to go over to X and find out that the settlement happened. That's exactly what's going to play out. Santander knows how to fix the antiquated legacy cross-border payment system. That's why they have a partnership with Ripple to utilize blockchain. XRP is the secret sauce bridging the old world into the new world, interoperability. Now take notice at the end of this video where she smiles. She knows XRP is the future.
You mentioned the speed of cross-border payments and the opaqueness of that process, and I guess it's also error-prone to some extent with SWIFT. Santander seems to be trying to approach it with a partnership with Ripple. Just curious what your thoughts are on that.
So I do think that of the use cases out there, cross-border is one of the most compelling. We know that intermediation chains cross-border are long and quite opaque, and they're slow, and they can be quite costly. So my sense is that technology with appropriate safeguards could make a material impact and likely will. And it may well be through a partnership model. I don't want to pronounce on any particular approach, but there are a variety of partnerships out there that are trying to innovate and to reduce frictions and increase transparency for those cross-border transactions. In my sense, I'm fairly optimistic that there are some good solutions out there that don't necessitate a global stablecoin.
You know, the banks will choose Ripple time and time again because Ripple has the best solution out there. Plus, they have XRP and that on-demand liquidity. Breaking, Uphold Topper now allows Zoom users to buy XRP with Google Pay and Apple Pay. You know, this is game-changing, and I'm going to explain why. You know, people ask me, how can I buy XRP? And I tell them, you know, either MEXC or Uphold. And what I noticed through Uphold is a lot of times Uphold doesn't like someone's credit card or debit card, or they don't like their bank account. It makes things complicated. And sometimes the people I'm talking to will say, maybe crypto just isn't for me. But this is game-changing. This simplifies things. Zoom also announced the move, directing it specifically to XRP holders. The disclosure from Zoom confirmed that Topper has also integrated Apple Pay and Google Pay. As a result, both Android and iOS users could take advantage of the recent development. Topper on-ramp offers access to XRP for Zoom users in more than 150 countries. Enjoy a seamless crypto experience today. When you make something that easy, people will use it time and time again. But you know, we are used to buying crypto. We do it on a weekly basis, most of us. But think about all the new users that are about to come into crypto once crypto really starts to take off. It has to be easy for them as well. And that's why I like the idea of what Zoom is doing. The traditional financial system will custody the crypto assets and bring them under centralized control. When this begins, the public supply of assets will drop. What once seemed like a massive oversupply issue will turn into a limited supply shock. You know, a lot of people don't realize that once all these financial institutions start pouring into crypto, they're going to be buying up a lot of crypto. All of a sudden, 100 billion XRP might not be enough. You got to remember what XRP is built for: to be the world's bridge currency, to act as a trust layer in between two CBDCs. I think 100 billion was created for a reason, but I do believe in the future we will see a supply shock on XRP. How Standard Chartered Ripple Partner Bank connects with Do It Now, powered by Tranglo, utilizing RippleNet. All you need is a phone number. The Do It Now ID is a new rail that transfers through RippleNet. Now look at how easy this is. How to receive funds via Do It Now. Log in to SC Mobile or online banking and select Do It Now. Register your mobile number, NRIC number, Army or police number, passport number or business registration number to your bank account, and you're done. How to send a payment. So how to send funds via Do It Now. Log into SC Mobile or online banking. Enter the recipient's mobile or IC number and the amount you wish to transfer. Verify the recipient's name and confirm the payment, and you're done. That's how simple this is. This is going to lead to even more adoption. SWIFT launches cross-border instant payments. Now everybody's talking about this. There's even a lot of FUD around it right now. Global message payment platform SWIFT says cross-border payments to Europe can reach their destination in seconds. Now, I want to point out a few things here. Number one, they don't talk about how much this costs. Remember, cost is a problem when it comes to cross-border payments. They also say just payments. They don't talk about messaging either. And somehow I still think Ripple is tied in here somehow, because this is happening in Europe. And we know Christine Lagarde loves Ripple, and she's running the European Central Bank. Then there's this, SEPA, 2.6 trillion per day. Ripple, crypto-enabled payment solution. So we know Ripple is also working over there in the EU right now. So is Ripple working with SWIFT? That's the big question. And I don't see any reason why this would be some sort of XRP killer. You also got to remind yourself that Ripple has the on-demand liquidity. Chris Larson explaining how interconnect with SEPA payment system. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, we just announced that we signed up CBW out of Kansas and Cross River Bank out of New Jersey. And obviously with banks, banks are rightly careful about any new technology for regulatory purposes and for stability purposes. So, these conversations do take a while, 6 months to a year, we think, to really sort of introduce the concept and then how can it be applied, and then starting talking about pilots. But we're really pleased. These are the first U.S. banks now on the Ripple protocol. So we think we are starting to get our message out there that these new technologies, distributed ledgers, really can be seen as alternatives, really viable alternatives to correspondent banking. And that's very powerful for particularly these smaller banks that otherwise have to rely on correspondent banks.
Okay. So am I right in thinking the strategy is then to get kind of a nationwide deployment of Ripple? And if so, how is that going to work? What's the strategy?
Yeah, so the strategy really is now first try to get a bank in each of the key regions of the world, because if you can connect one bank on ACH in the US to one bank on SEPA in Europe, you have effectively connected all of the banks on those two networks. So you really get a multiplier effect. Now we have this Fedor out of Germany on SEPA, and we have now these 2 U.S. banks on ACH. Now we got to work on China, we got to work in South America, India, and really continue to spread it and get to some of the bank networks. So definitely getting banks as gateways to bring currencies onto the platform is very important. And then along with that, bringing market makers to make markets between those currencies, cross currencies. We've already been pretty successful there. We have about 7 institutional market makers already. Now it's really kind of filling it up with banks.
So they're already connecting banks inside the United States. He also talked about SEPA and making connections there as well. So back to SWIFT and that instant cross-border payments. How long do you think it's going to be until people get fed up with the fees on SWIFT and choose RippleNet instead, utilizing XRP and that on-demand liquidity? I still don't see any hope for SWIFT in the future, because they didn't even talk about the fees in that article at all. And that tells you right there, it's way more expensive than what RippleNet and XRP is. Breaking: China and the Fed to flood the world with trillions. Traders suddenly brace for extreme predicted Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price swings. So they're talking about China printing yuan. It will make its way to the global markets and support the prices of all types of risk assets. Then they go on to talk about the Fed possibly also printing money as well, after loosening up around the monetary policy that they have in effect right now. But the Fed is not going to rush to print any money, even if the US dollar starts to plummet in value, because the Fed is worried that we're holding too many dollars already. However, China printing yuan and pumping it out there into the global markets, that could be game changing. That could definitely change the price of crypto very fast. Very bullish Ripple price prediction for late 2024. So is this too much? What do you think? He's predicting a $50 XRP by November of next year. Now keep in mind, I thought 2024 is going to be a very huge year for crypto, especially XRP. Got to remember, Ripple could possibly announce an IPO. ISO, we could see value coming from that throughout next year. Plus CBDCs going live, maybe utilizing XRP for that bridge currency that it was built to be. Plus the settlement with the SEC also. So do you think $50 by November of next year is possible? Put it in the comments section down below. I think we have potential to get there. But first, let's break $1, which I still think is going to happen by the end of this month. Then there's this, the U.S. debt clock. You really want to know the truth. Enter at your own risk of enlightenment. It's much darker than you can even imagine. So we see Dorothy with 1 silver slipper and 1 red slipper. One is debt and the other is Money City. Plus she's holding a basket of U.S. dollars. So a lot of people have been saying it's because they're going to revalue silver. Then they're talking about going back to the gold standard. But whoever's running the debt clock is definitely giving us hints on what's going to come next. But we're XRP holders. No matter what, the future looks very bright for us. And right now, we just got to stay patient and stay positive. You got to make it through the sideways action to get to the exciting times. And I think we're getting very close. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. Let's get rich together. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.